You know, if you spend any real time outside, whether it's for work or just for fun, you know the deal. The elements are always part of the equation. You've got the sun, the wind, dust, and of course, your own sweat, which can turn an amazing day into a real grind. So how do we handle all that without packing a dozen different things?
I mean, think about it. Usually, we grab a hat for the sun, maybe a bandana if it's dusty, a headband to deal with sweat, but juggling all that stuff is just a hassle, right? It really makes you wonder, could one single smart piece of gear actually do all of those jobs?
So let's start with the big one, the sun. We all know UV rays are no joke, but it's more than just sunburn. Being out in that intense heat and glare all day long, it just drains you. It can lead to fatigue, even heat exhaustion, especially when you're totally exposed and there's just no shade in sight. Okay, now let's switch gears to a work environment, like this construction site. Here, the problem is literally in the air. You're breathing in all this dust and debris from cutting and building, and that's not just uncomfortable, it can be a real health issue long term. So you absolutely need something that protects you without getting in the way of the job.
And then there's sweat. We all know this one. When you're really pushing yourself, sweat getting in your eyes is more than just annoying. It can be a genuine safety hazard when you need to see clearly, whether you're picking your way down a tricky trail or operating heavy machinery.
So, we've got these three totally different challenges, right? Sun, dust, and sweat. The old school way is to have a separate solution for each, but the future of gear, and really the now of gear, is all about versatility. It's about being smarter, not just carrying more.
And a perfect example of this is the modern neck gaiter. To really get what I'm talking about, let's use this Gear Hunt neck gaiter as our example and break down how one simple piece of fabric can be engineered to solve all those problems we just talked about.
You know, the thinking behind great gear like this usually comes from real-world, hands-on experience. When you see a tagline like "made by experts," it's not just marketing fluff. It usually means the people who designed it have actually been out there, faced these exact problems, and built a solution that actually works.
So how can a piece of fabric be so good at protecting you? Let's kick things off with its #1 job for many people, being a shield against the sun.
The real beauty here is just how adaptable it is. You can wear it so many different ways to cover your neck, your face, your ears, all those spots that get fried so easily. It means you can literally adjust your sun protection on the move without having to stop and mess with your gear.
Now, the secret sauce is the fabric's UPF 50+ rating. So, what does that actually mean? Well, UPF stands for ultraviolet protection factor, and it measures how much UV radiation actually gets through the fabric to your skin. A 50+ rating, that's the highest you can get. It means the fabric itself is blocking over 98% of those harmful rays. It's like wearing your own personal, high-tech shade that doesn't wash off with sweat like sunscreen can.
Okay, so sun protection is huge. But let's be honest. If the gear isn't comfortable when you're working hard, you're just not going to wear it. And that's where the science of the material itself really comes into play.
And here's a feature that is absolutely critical: breathability. It doesn't matter if you're on a tough hike or filtering out dust on a job site, you have to be able to breathe easily. The fabric has to let air flow through to keep you from overheating and getting that awful stuffy feeling.
And it's not just about letting air in, it's about getting moisture out. That's where moisture-wicking comes in. This tech is incredible. It literally pulls sweat away from your skin and moves it to the outside of the fabric where it can evaporate super fast. That evaporation is what helps cool you down and keeps you feeling dry and comfortable.
Okay, so we have all these individual features: sun protection, breathability, moisture wicking. Now let's see how they all come together to make this one item so useful in two completely different, really demanding situations.
At first glance, a hiking trail and a construction site couldn't seem more different, right? But when you really break it down, they share some of the same core challenges. You've got tons of sun, you're working your body hard, and you've got stuff flying around in the air. That's what makes them perfect test cases for truly versatile gear.
So for the hiker, this one gaiter becomes a whole toolkit. It's your sun shield when you're up high, it's a dust filter on a windy trail, it's a sweatband when you're climbing a steep hill, and it can even be a light layer of warmth if the wind picks up. Its true value is that it can be whatever you need it to be in that moment. And then on the job site, it's the exact same story of versatility. It's a dust mask when you're cutting or sanding. It's giving you that critical UPF sun protection on your neck and face all day. And because it wicks moisture, it's helping to keep you cool when you're doing hard physical labor.
So, when you put it all together, what does this really show us?
It's about a bigger idea in the world of outdoor gear. We're moving away from having a bunch of single-task items and toward these integrated, multifunction tools that just do more.
The whole point is how these four things all come together in one simple package. You get that top-tier sun protection, a filter for dust that you can actually breathe through, a system that actively manages your sweat, and the ability to use it in a dozen different ways. That combination is what makes this kind of gear a real game changer.
And hey, let's not forget that performance gear has to look good too. The fact that this stuff comes in different styles and patterns just goes to show you that you don't have to choose between high-performance function and your own personal style anymore. Ultimately, the way our gear is evolving is all about making us more efficient and more capable out there. And it kind of makes you look at your own pack, right? It makes you ask yourself, is my gear the smartest solution for what I'm doing? Or am I still weighed down by old stuff that only does one thing?